Everyone is anxiously awaiting election results, and the Athens GOP is no exception.
They certainly are. James Thompson is live at the GOP watch party at the East Side Locos here in Athens. Hey, James, what's the mood like there right now?
Cautiously optimistic, Dylan. Like you said, I'm here on the east side of Athens at Locos, where the Clarke County Republicans are having their election night watch party. We've got Fox News on right here, MSNBC in the back of the room, and a lot of goodies over on the table for people to snack on. Looks like we have about 50 people here so far, and I would say that they say that there is a path for their candidate, Donald Trump, to victory tonight, but they acknowledge that it does seem to be narrow. They're much more optimistic about down-ballot races. For example, Senator Johnny Isakson. They're hoping he's able to avoid a runoff with the Democratic challenger, Jim Barksdale. So we've been talking with some of them already. We're going to have them over for interviews. We've got Karen Schwind, who is the chairwoman of the GOP here. We'll be speaking with her a little later. I'm live from Locos on the east side. James Thompson, Brady News Source.
Thanks so much, James Thompson.
Local Democrats are watching the election. We're going out, though, to James Thompson, who's got a live interview for us at the Athens-Clarke County GOP watch party. James, who are you talking to there?
Well, I'm here with Representative Regina Quick. We're back out here at Locos on the east side of Athens. Representative Quick was unopposed this evening. She represents District 117 in the State House. So I guess not too many worries for your contest tonight.
Well, running unopposed is the best way to run. I can tell you that for sure. But any opposition I have is not on the ballot. Let's put it that way.
There you go. So nothing to worry about for your race, Representative Quick, but what about the national races and the state races down ballot? I know Donald Trump right now looks like he's slightly ahead in Florida. Are you concerned about that race, or how do you think it's going to play out?
Well, I think everybody's just excited because it's too close to call in Florida, but over 90% of the vote is in Florida. So if you hear a big noise, it might be that they call Florida or the results come in while we're on the air. Georgia's also too close to call, but that's because the vote is not in. If you're checking the Secretary of State's website, it's just we don't have the percentage vote in for anybody to draw any conclusions right now.
Now, Representative Quick, we've got the next term of the state legislature coming up in January. What's one issue you'd like people to pay attention to as we get closer to the opening of that session?
Well, I think that, of course, everybody in Georgia is watching closely Amendment 1, the Opportunity School District. And if that fails, I expect we will have a considerable amount of discussion continuing about the funding formula for K through 12 education in Georgia.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I've been speaking with Representative Regina Quick. I'm going to toss back to you guys in the studio.
James, thank you. I know they were talking about the state of Florida. I was just looking at that map right there. A lot of that is coming.
Well, you've probably heard some people complain about having to choose between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton for president. Grady News Source reporter James Thompson shows us how some exercised a third option. James.
Guys, I'm still out here on the east side of Athens at Locos, where the Clarke County Republicans are having their election night watch party. Now, you can probably guess who most of the folks here voted for president. Same thing with the Democrats, who are having their own gathering over at Southern Brewery. But for some Athens voters, the choice was not as clear.
So I'm proposing that we...
If they're crackpots, then they don't get any traction anyway.
Guys, one Athens libertarian told me that supporting a third-party candidate is like trying to build a house of cards in the wind. And that seems to be a suitable analogy, since even with the disgust towards the two major party candidates, Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson's poll numbers have continued to drop. James Thompson, live at Locos, Grady News Source.
James, thank you.
Now, let's check on those viewing parties. James Thompson's still at the East Side Locals with Athens GOP.
And he's there with State Representative, let me check the name, State Representative Chuck Williams right now. James, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Still out here on the east side of Athens at Locos for the Clarke County Republican Watch Party. We're here with State Representative Chuck Williams. Chuck, thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you, James.
So first of all, you are the second representative that we spoke to who is running unopposed.
Well, as they say around Atlanta, there's only two ways to run, either unopposed or scared, and I'm glad to be running unopposed rather than scared this year.
So somebody that's not running unopposed is, of course, Donald Trump. What are your thoughts as we continue to see the results roll in on that race?
Well, you know, it's been such an instant election cycle. 18 months ago, I think we were all just enjoying the entertainment factor prior to the primaries. You know, Trump is a Republican nominee. He's in a race, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah. Now, another race that Republicans are watching here is Senator Johnny Isakson's re-election bid. You were telling me that you've spoken with the senator recently. What did y'all talk about, and how's he feeling about the race?
Well, Senator Isaacson, in my way of thinking, is as they say, is a workhorse, not a show horse. And last time I spoke with the senator a few weeks ago, he was ready to get this election behind him and get back to Washington and go to work. He is just very energetic. I think he enjoys governing much more than he does politics, and I think he's ready to go to work.
Now, Representative Williams, I asked Representative Quick the same question I'm about to ask you. What's one issue people should be on the lookout for in January when you guys head back to the State House for the legislative session?
Well, you know, this will be the first year of a 2-year biennial session. We'll have some new faces. A lot of speculation about whether religious freedom will come back up immediately, whether campus carry will come back up. The governor probably is going to be talking about education initiatives. The governor ruffled some feathers in the legislature with a couple of vetoes. So it'll be interesting to see what issues come up and what our focus is for the governor and what the legislative response is.
Representative Williams, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Dylan, Lauren, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks so much, James. Now,
We're going to go out to James Thompson, though, at the GOP party here in Clarke County. He is with the chairman of the Athens-Clarke County Republicans. James, what is she saying right now?
Hey, guys, I'm here with Clarke County GOP Chairwoman Karen Schwind. Karen, you were telling me that you're cautiously optimistic about the presidential race so far tonight. What are you seeing that's giving you that cautious optimism?
Well, of course, Trump has a number of states that have been called for him, but more importantly, in the swing states, which are tremendously important. There's 5 to 7 of them: Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and a lot of these are states that are in what they call the Rust Belt, where people have really suffered from the poor economy and they haven't been put back to work. So they will often, if they all go one way or the other, determine who is our next president, and these are very close between the two candidates, and it seems like Florida might be pulling ahead for Trump. So the fact that those are close and that Trump has a good chance of taking some of them is really exciting for us.
Now, I've spoken with other Republicans here who share your cautious optimism for the Republican presidential nominee, but are much more optimistic for down-ballot races. Do you see that the same way? Like, what about Johnny Isakson?
Well, I don't think Johnny Isakson was ever in any danger of losing, so he's already won, and he's won by a very large margin. So in terms of a lot of our races in Georgia, we're going to have a good down ballot. I don't know whether it's true, but I heard on Fox News, which we're watching here, that Republicans who did not support Trump are losing in some states, some maybe the more moderate Republicans. So it'll be interesting to see whether Trump has coattails, because that's one of the things you really look for in a presidential race.
Now, the Republicans here in Clarke County have been trying to get out the vote and get people to vote for Donald Trump for quite a while now. Could you tell us a little bit about the efforts you guys have had leading up to this election day to make sure things go your way?
Okay, sure. Of course, Athens-Clarke County is, I think, the smallest county in the state, and because of the University of Georgia, it's the most liberal county. But we have an incredibly active Republican Party. So we run a headquarters. We are, I think, one of the only surrounding counties with an active headquarters. I've had phone calls from people in Tennessee. I've had phone calls from people in Wilkes County, Franklin County. So all of these surrounding counties turn to us, come to our headquarters for signs, for hats, for anything, campaign literature. We've had people out walking, going door to door, trying to talk to people. We largely go to the homes where people are undecided, and we make sure that we have a lot of information and that we know what we're talking about, so when they ask questions, we can answer them. We also had some people who made phone calls, so we just do a variety of things. Of course, we have our meetings, and we have a really a larger than you might think database of people that we send information to. So we have pretty large public meetings every month as well.
Well, Karen Schwind, chairwoman of the Athens GOP, thank you so much. We're going to toss to you guys in the studio.
Well, and thank you, James, so much. Close to call. We're going to go to James Thompson, who is at a party for the Clarke County Republicans. James, I'm sure they're pretty happy right now after that Isaacson call.
Guys, we're back here at the Clarke County Republicans Watch Party, and I'm speaking with Jim Mueller. Jim's been in Clarke County for about a year and a half here. He's a member of the Clarke County Republicans. Now, Jim, you were telling me that you were hoping a lot of the pundits were going to be wrong tonight. They had been saying that it could be over quickly for Donald Trump, and we're seeing now that it looks like it may not be.
It certainly isn't going to be. You know, Trump had a lot of enthusiasm. All the people that showed up at his rallies, you know, nobody dragged them there. They're there because they knew this country needs to do different than what it's been doing for the last 8 years.
Sure. Now, was Trump, did you support him in the primaries?
100%.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the gathering here tonight. We've got a big crowd here at Locos. Have you been here for most of the gathering tonight?
Yes, I did. We came early and ate.
Okay, and what have been your impressions talking to other Republicans? What's the mood been like?
I think everybody is really cheered up that things have turned out the way they have so far tonight. This race isn't over yet, sure. and it's going on. It'll be on for late tonight, I think.
And what are you hearing about some of the down-ballot races? I've been asking people about Senator Johnny Isakson and some of the congressmen, Jody Hice, of course, in District 10 here locally. Any worries on those races?
None at all. Those guys are all doing well. A lot of Republicans, a lot of the Republican senators they thought might get beat. You know, they're winning in Indiana. They're winning that race. They thought they might lose a seat there. I think most of the Republican senators will get through tonight. You know, they might lose one or two, but the majority of them will win tonight.
All right, Jim. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
Guys, back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much.
We have Dan. Now we go to James Thompson at the GOP party. James, how is everyone feeling?
Well, guys, there's been a resurgence of optimism here at the Clarke County GOP party. Fox News currently has Trump up by about 40 electoral votes, and that has the people here feeling pretty good. A lot of Trump fans sticking around. They're also giving out Trump fans and pocket constitutions. About 40 people left here, as you can see behind me, starting to thin out just a little bit. But for the last time, this is James Thompson at Locos with the Clarke County Republicans. Thanks for watching.
Thanks so much, James, and thank you so much for reporting tonight.
Absolutely. We'll